Mabuhay everyone, MARKCHES here. Welcome to the channel, and for today's video, I'll be giving you my performance review of another shocking and surprising sneaker that came out in the market. This is the Anta Shock the Game Show 4. Guys, here is another pair of sneaker that came by a surprise. I really wasn't expecting anything great or awesome on the sneaker. Actually, I know this is a steady performer because of the previous Shock the Game basketball sneakers. They were awesome performers, the traction were on point. The cushion was really nice too, but this one is extra special, and let's discuss why. Let's start off first with the upper of the Shock the Game Show 4. Actually, this is one of the four colorways of the Chinese cuisine that is released quite limited here in the Philippines. But unfortunately, this sneaker is, I think, widely available just here in Asia. And if you are in the US, I think Famuji Sneakers is selling them. I don't know if they are selling this colorway, the Chinese cuisine colorways, but if you are interested in this pair, I'll be putting the link down in the description below. Like I've said in my unboxing of the Show 4s is when you take a close look at the sneaker, you will see how nicely it is crafted. The quality of the upper is really nice. It's a dual layered upper. So on the outer part of the upper is made out of this leather, which is synthetic, but it's really nice because it is laser printed, and I believe that this outer layer is just one piece. So start from the forefoot and the material goes around to the back and even on the side, so it's one sheet of leather. The forefoot part has laser cuts all around it, and even on the side panels you can see the logo of the Shock the Game here. And the quality of the print of the sneaker is really nicely made, and you can see this splatter of paint. That's why I chose this colorway, because this is the only colorway, which is the barbecue colorway, that has ink splatter from the mid part of the sneaker, and it goes down to this plastic piece here in the midsole. Plus, even on the medial part, it has this splatter here and this cushion part of the sneaker, and it's really well made. And even on the heel part, this white splatter here, it is kind of embossed. Really shouts quality to the sneaker. Even the Anta logo here is embossed too. So for the made of the Show 4, I have nothing but great to say about the sneaker. And they added up some other materials here in the middle part, which is a softer leather, and the inner booty is made out of this jersey-like mesh upper, which is very well ventilated, and it's a one booty inner layer that is well padded. It's very comfortable around your foot. And as for support and durability of the sneaker, in the forefoot area, like I've said, this is made out of leather, this colorway, but some other colorways has some screen mesh upper, which is also very nice. At the same time, they also have some leather panels in the forefoot, so I think it's the same for both. Durability of the upper is good, especially on the forefoot area where you will have toe drags, and even the outsole goes up here. And this plastic piece cages you on the lateral part so that it will give you lateral support and containment to the sneaker. And it moves to the heel part of the sneaker where you will have that ankle support, which is around your heel, and it cups your heel really nicely on both sides of your heel, which is very similar to the KT7 and the KT6. They have that similar design that is kind of like a ankle brace or heel brace to your foot, which will give you extra stability to the sneaker. The lacing system of the Show 4 is a traditional lacing system. It's very easy to adjust the sneaker to your foot. And as for the shape of the sneaker, it has enough toe space, so I would say wide footer, you're safe with this one because it's not too snug around the forefoot. At the same time, it's not too roomy. And even on the mid part of the sneaker, even though it looks kind of narrow, but it isn't. Your foot has room to move around the midfoot, and this part kind of goes up and gives you extra arch support, but nothing too drastic. that will give you discomfort around your arch, especially if you have a wide midfoot. As per heel containment and lockdown, you can see there are very nice Achilles pillows here that hugs your Achilles and gives you extra comfort around that part. And given that this is a low cut sneaker, there's enough ankle mobility. At the same time, ankle support, heel containment is really nice. There's no heel slippage. Just get the right size, of course, to your foot, and you're good to go. And speaking of the right size, I'm a regular footer. I got a US 11. Actually, I think Anta adjusts their sizing already because on the KT6, I usually go down a full size. Same with my GH, but right now my GH, my KT7, and the Show 4 are all US 11 and they fit me perfectly well. So they kind of adjusted their sizes. So I'm a US 11 for Nike basketball sneakers, if that's a reference for you guys. Usually, majority of the Nike sneakers, I'm a US 11. So I have the same size right now for Anta basketball sneakers. As for the insole of the Show 4, it has a more dense insole, but it's still an ortholite insole, but it's a little bit denser compared to the other sneakers that have very thin ortholites. But what's nice about this insole, it has a little bit thicker padding around the heel, so it gives extra plushness around your heel and when you're doing heel strike, and of course extra impact protection around the heel. The strobo board of the Show 4 is another thing that's worth mentioning because like in my WOW 10, I was really impressed with the strobo board. It was like a screen jersey fabric for the strobo board of the WOW 10. While on the Show 4, they also use a thinner fabric. It's not a jersey like fabric, but it's very thin. And when I'm pressing it, I can really feel the nitro injected foam or the nitro edge foam of Anta. So as for cushion wise, that's one of the things that I really like about the Show 4. I was really surprised by how comfortable the Show 4s are when I tried it out in store. And that really sold me on the Show 4 because if you're looking for a nice plush ride but at the same time giving you a very nice bounce back to a basketball sneaker, the Show 4 Nitro Edge foam, which is also full length similar to the KT7, is very plush. There's a lot of bounce to it. At the same time, impact protection is really nice from the forefoot and heel. And comparing it to the KT7, I think it has a thicker slab of Nitro Edge foam, or it has a different density and it makes the KT7 feels like it's a little bit lower to the ground compared to the Show 4. But the Show 4, although it's not as low as the KT7, but it's still very responsive, at the same time giving you a very nice bounce and impact protection to the Show 4s. I really like the combination of the density of the Nitro Edge foam on the Show 4s plus the responsiveness that it's giving me. It's a very nice balance of cushion and setup. Then that's the top one thing that I really like on the Show 4s. It has a window here so that you can touch how plush the Nitro Edge foam is on the Show 4 and even on the heel. And I think it also lets the Nitro Edge foam to expand. And another thing that helps out in the springiness of the Nitro Edge foam is this carbon fiber shank, which is extra long on the Show 4. It's not a short carbon fiber shank, but it's until here, so you can really feel the spring back of the Show 4. Anta didn't cut us short on the carbon fiber plate on the Show 4s. It gives you stability at the same time spring back and lets you feel the extra bounciness of the Nitro Edge foam on the Show 4s. Next thing that I really like on the Show 4s is of course the traction that came with it. It has this water-like pattern like waves, or also like the letter A on Anta. And it's also around the heel part of the traction. It's at the coupled traction, and you can see how nice the lateral outrigger is on the Show 4s. It's very stable. It gives you a very stable ride in the forefoot, very similar to the KT7. If you like how wide the forefoot part or how nice or how pronounced the lateral outrigger of the KT7, you will surely love it too here on the Show 4s, which is, look at that, how big the protrusion of the lateral outrigger is. You can even see it on the bottom view of the sneaker, and it has a very nice ride to it. It's a decoupled outsole. Usually the coupled outsole gives you a very nice heel to toe transition when you're running up and down the floor. This one is no exception. You run very fluidly on the show force. As for the rubber material used here, it is very thick, at the same time very pliable. It moves and it sticks on a very clean court very nicely, even on a dusty floor. Grips very well, and I think outdoor use of the show force is also okay because of how thick the rubber materials are on the sneaker. And dust pickup is not much of a problem here too because it's very well spaced from the forefoot to the heel. And I have played with this twice on an outdoor court, and look, there's no fraying on the traction on the show force. So I would say if you're looking for a sneaker that can be played indoor and outdoor, I think this is a very ideal sneaker to have if you are constantly playing indoor and outdoor because the traction is thick enough for outdoor use. At the same time, indoor use, it grips really nicely. At the same time, the cushion setup is very plush. It is ideal for outdoor use, and the support and durability of the upper is also on point. For the price of the Anta Shock the Game Show 4, it's a mid-level tier of Anta sneakers. So the signature sneaker of KT, then the GH3 is very similar in pricing to the Show 4s, or I think this is a little bit more expensive compared to the GH3. Mainly I think because of the carbon fiber plate that came with it. This is 6,500 pesos, so that's around 130 US dollars if converted to US dollars. So it's a mid-tier sneaker, but let me say this, for this price and how it performs that well, this is a bang for your buck sneaker. You can use this indoor, outdoor with no problems at all. The cushion, the tech that Anta gave us, they really gave us a tech that we deserve on the sneaker. They kept on improving. I mean, kudos to Anta and the other Chinese basketball brands. They really are stepping up their game and really are competing to the big brands right now. So if you're someone who's open to try out other brands aside from the big brands, this is a must try. The Show 4 shocked the game. If you don't want that KT7 level price, this KT7 is around 7,500. This is 6,500. So if you are open to try other brands that will blow your mind, try out the Shock the Game Show 4. So let me know what you think about the Anta Shock the Game Show 4. If you have played with them, let me know what it felt around your foot. Hit me a comment down below. This has been MARKCHES once again. Thank you for dropping by. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.